Hello everyone and welcome to my very first ever Let's Build. My name is Connie Rose and I just started getting into building with The Sims 4. I played The Sims since The Sims 1, but I don't know, I just never really liked the buildings before. So I'm actually really excited to share this build with you guys. It's an industrial style home, and like the text at the beginning said, you can download this home on the gallery. And I'm just really loving the Sims 4 build tools. And right now you can see me putting down the basic shape of the house. I actually do lose a lot of footage from the sort of exterior building, and I'm really sorry about that. This is my first time doing gameplay recording, so I just got new software and everything, and I'm getting used to everything, and I accidentally hit the Windows key while I was recording, which minimized The Sims and ended up stopping the recording, and I didn't realize that would happen. So I ended up losing the footage because I didn't restart it right away. So sorry about that. Right now I am choosing some doors, apparently. Really annoys me that you can't center doors, and I'm sure you've heard that gripe a lot with basically every other builder, but it's unfortunate, and I'm sure if it doesn't get patched in, it'll get modded in at some point. Just building the general shape. It's an industrial style, so I decided to go with some huge walled pillars instead of some of the pillars they offer as items. Yeah. So originally I was going to do this as a speed build, which obviously this is sped up, but speed build tends to be 10 minutes long, just 8 to 10 times faster than original. But I tried doing that, and I wiggle the camera a lot, as you can see right there, and it just gave me a headache, and I'm not usually prone to motion sickness, so I figured that those who were would just not be able to watch it. Plus, it was kind of unwatchable because you couldn't really tell what was going on because the camera was wiggling around so much. So decided to make it a bit of a longer video, and this is my first video, so I can do introductions and things like that, tell you guys a little bit about myself. Right here it was really weird. I couldn't select the door and ended up having to use a sledgehammer, and I think the problem resolved itself right then, but that was a little annoying. I love the building tools in Sims 4. The reason I never really got into building in the other Sims games was because it was just so tedious to fix things if you mess up on the original layout. Like if I decided I wanted the house to be 2 blocks to the left of where I placed it, you'd have to redraw every single wall. But in The Sims 4, you can just pick it up and move it, which is amazing. I love that feature. I'm looking at the wallpapers, and this is about where I lose the footage. Yep, there it goes. So, just finishing up the landscaping, and apparently I already picked some of the interior decorations as well. What the heck happened there? So apparently, when the video rendered, it cut to the end for a little bit, and then cut back to where I recovered the footage at. So that little bit was at the end. So I'm picking out windows here, I guess. Wasn't really sure what style of windows I wanted to go with because, it's got the brick exterior. It's kind of industrial, which to me kind of points to old-fashioned windows. I mean, I'm not an architect or anything, so I don't really know what tends to go with industrial homes, but I decided to go with a bit more of a modern style. Got the gray exposed brick exteriors here and moving the windows around, and I love that you can adjust their height on the wall. Yeah, had some trouble placing the windows where I wanted them, so I just moved out the hallway a little bit. Doesn't affect the size of the room next to it. Deciding on the front door here, I do end up going with this one. I make it red, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so like I said, I'm pretty new to video making and all that, so if you guys have any helpful tips or anything that you could let me know, it would be wonderful. Since I did end up losing that footage, I had to go a really roundabout way for recording this episode, and I was just wondering if you guys had any tips for how to better handle what happened. So since I lost the footage, I ended up, meshing the two videos together, which worked really well, except I tried to record this post commentary while in the video editing program I use, which right now I have a free trial of Sony Vegas Movie Maker. It's not the Pro edition or anything like that. But I love these awnings, by the way. They're awesome. And I love that you can scale items. It makes things so much better. But yeah, so I couldn't do the post commentary while playing the preview video in the video editor because the video editor would stop working when Audacity was running at the same time. So I ended up having to render the video, and now I'm playing it back in Windows Media Player. And then I'm commenting on it, so I'll have to repost the commentary. I'll have to edit in the commentary while, I'm sorry, I'm just totally losing my train of thought because I'm watching the video at the same time. I'll have to re-edit in the commentary and then re-render the video a second time, which, it took 3 hours the first time, and it's probably going to take 3 hours again the second time, if I had to guess. So I was wondering if any of you guys who knew more about video making would be able to give me any tips for what I should do. So here I am choosing wallpapers for the exterior. I end up going with basically the same color scheme as the outside, the red and the gray brick. I posted a lot of my builds on Reddit, and one thing I've noticed in some other speed builds is people don't know how to have the wallpaper go on just one wall instead of the entire room, and you do that by holding down Alt. So Shift changes the wall for the entire room, and Alt does it for just one room. So I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what kind of wall I wanted to do because it just made everything so dark. But I ended up going with the same dark colors as the exterior and making the floors very light, which kind of brightens up the room, makes it a little less overwhelmingly dark. And here I am just changing which walls are accent walls and which ones are just regular walls. I do like that floor, but I'm pretty sure I ended up going with a different floor layout. The kitchen area, which is what we're looking at right now, and I'm putting in counters, ends up being concrete, but I do believe I use the white or light brown hardwood floors in the rest of the house. I love the kitchen options in The Sims 4, the stove hoods, the counters. I love these counters. And I love the end caps and choosing all the different counter options. The cabinets, that's the word I was looking for. I love the cabinets too. And I love that you can just put a cabinet over the stove hood if it's a wall-mounted stove hood. That's just a great touch that they added in. So if you're wondering how you can manually select the counter types and you get these cool end caps in some of the counters too, you have to turn off auto counters. And if you look at the little counter selection tool, it's gone now, but maybe I think it comes back. There's a little gear option when you go in to select the colors, and you click on that gear, and then you turn off the auto counters, and then you can select which counters. And for some of the counters, you get these really cool curved options, and some of them you get a little triangle, and some of them are just plain square, which I think this one is just a square, but yeah. So still working on the kitchen here, trying out different counter configurations. So while I was first building this, I had it in mind for a family of 4, so 3 bedrooms total, a master bed and 2 rooms for the kids. So right now I'm laying out a space that would accommodate them. Getting some decorations in, I guess, and I love that they just include so much clutter. Clutter really just makes a home feel lived in instead of just this like pristine thing that you would see in an open house. You know, it doesn't feel like someone actually lived there. And I love that little knife block, but there's not enough space in this kitchen, so I don't believe it ended up getting put in there. And I really wish you could put things a little closer to the sinks, like the soap dispensers and the paper towel holders. Like, they always end up a good, if it were real life, it would be about a half foot away from the sink, which, you want them right next to the sink, because that's where you use them. Trying to figure out the seating arrangements here. At the very end of the video, I add this table back in, but at first I go with an island, like the island seating that I'm putting in right now. The reason I end up putting it back is because right now I'm only thinking that I need to seat for 4 people. But at the end, I add another family member, so I take away one of the island counters. Oh, there's one of those curved counters. I take away the island counters and add in the table at the end, so you end up getting exactly 5 seats. I liked that bar stool on the end over there, over by the window, but I wasn't sure if Sims would be able to get around it. I know that Sims in The Sims 4 had better routing options, but I don't really play test my homes before uploading them to the gallery, so I decided that it was better to be safe than sorry. So here I am. I'm pretty sure I end up going with a different flooring. I might end up with these. I don't really remember. If you're wondering how to get those little triangles for the floors, you hit Control F to get to those in The Sims 4. So just trying to figure out what I want to do with the flooring before moving on to the living area. Oh, no, apparently I'm still choosing floors. Yeah, that looks familiar. I'm pretty sure that's what I end up with. So this is the... Oh, I'm putting in lights now. I really like the wall lights in this game. They are, I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but they are a lot dimmer than they were in The Sims 3, which, it kind of makes sense. They're cheaper lights, so cheaper ones should not be as good as the more expensive ones, because that's why you go for more expensive ones. I do wish there were a lot more available styles, though, because if you're going for a certain look in a house, you're kind of shoehorned into whatever style, like whatever price tier happens to fit within the style that you're going for. So if you want a very modern home, there's only so many modern lighting choices or furniture choices or whatever. So you can either go for one that fits your aesthetic exactly, or you can go for one that gives you better skill gain or comfort gain or, whatever. Than you would get with the cheaper ones, but they don't look as good in your house. So I put that little chalkboard in. I figured it could be like you write your grocery list down or whatever. Little communication between the families. I thought that was a cute little touch. Here I'm adding some decorations into the living area. I also put in an armchair eventually. Oh my god, I love the rugs in this game, but I wish you could resize them. You can resize practically everything else. I'm wondering if that's a glitch, maybe? Because it seems like the rugs in the base game, at least, go from, like, really tiny to really massive. And there's really not a whole lot of in-between, at least not in a lot of different styles. And that gets on my nerves a little bit. But I do appreciate the number of different rugs they put in, especially when we don't have creative style. It's a lot more convenient to have them just all at once. So I put in a little bookshelf here. And I always seem to put that sun above the front door. I think in a bunch of different builds I've done that. And going in some wall art. No, but apparently I'm going into the plants. The plants in this game are great, and you can just size them up if they're too small, which is really convenient. I end up scrapping those ones though. I think I end up putting a plant on top of the bookshelf instead of next to it. Yep, there's the sunflowers. But maybe not. Oh, no. That looks familiar. I think I end up doing that. So I stick to a kind of, through the main areas of the house, I stick to this like red and gray and sort of yellowish, orangish color scheme, but for the kids' rooms, I give them their own personality. I like to sort of imagine the Sims that live in the homes as I'm designing them. So the family that I have living here is 5-person family, so obviously 2 parents, and they have a teenage boy, a teenage girl, and a child whose gender I never decided. And so the sort of personalities I picked out for the kids, I'll explain them to you when we build their rooms. But right now I'm just working on putting some blinds in, and I like these sort of modern shades, but I really wish they gave more of the modern style shades. Like, you've got the wooden ones, but they're all almost completely down, so they block a lot of the light, and I like to have them sort of halfway down like these shades are. But I wish there were a few more choices on that regard. I'm putting in a little accent table here over by the hallway. I end up putting shelves above. I wish more of the stuff fit on shelves. That's one of my pet peeves in this version of the game. You've got so much great clutter that they put in, but they don't fit anywhere, and it annoys me. It's like you can fit like some books, and you can fit the tissue box on the wall shelves, but you can't really fit a whole lot of anything else, and I hope that gets patched. Playing around with the shades, I don't end up putting any of them in. Excuse me. Putting some stuff on the shelves, trying to figure out what I want to do. Those small pictures fit on the shelves as well. But as far as I know, no plants at all fit on the shelves. And that bugs me. I love that sunflower pot, by the way. That's probably my favorite potted plant. So, working on a rug there. I'm pretty sure I just don't put anything in that area. Can't have a house without a nice welcome mat in the front. Like that white color with this home. And now we're moving on to the bathroom finally. This is the shared family bath. And I don't really remember which items, which styles of things I put in. I kind of feel like I don't end up going with that shower, but I might. Yeah, I do think I end up going with the shower. And looking at the wall coverings, I go with this like really nice, partially crumbled away, the brick with the plaster over it on one wall, I believe. And oh no, I do that on 3 walls, but I use this green as an accent wall behind the sink. And looking at mirrors, you can put those tall mirrors in behind these individual, like, standalone sinks, but you can't put them in behind counters. So if you use a countersink, then you won't be able to use the large mirrors, just so you know. And I have to be honest with you, I think bathrooms are my favorite rooms to decorate. Because you can just fit in so much clutter in it. It's amazing. And I like the cabinets that they included in this version, and they've got the towels and the hand towels and the toilet paper and the shower caddies and the bathrobe. I try to use the bathrobe in basically all of my builds. I don't think I have enough room in this one to use it, but yeah, I just love just decking out the bathroom and just making it feel like it's packed full of stuff, because they tend to feel barren a lot of the time, so I like to make them feel like people actually live there and actually use it. So the next room I move on to is the master bedroom. And the master bedroom ends up being basically the same color scheme as the rest of the house because I figure it's their house, so they built it, they decorated it, so it would be to their taste. And so I said I would explain the personalities of the parents or of the family members as I build the rooms. And so I decided that the mom and dad were kind of this power couple. They were both very, not super wealthy, but they support each other in basically everything, and everything they do is basically to help advance themselves and the other person in their career. So they're on the way up. They're not at the top yet, but they're moving up. And so the father is a politician, which that career track, as far as I know, is not available in The Sims 4. I'm sure it'll get added in an expansion or something like that, of course. The mother would be a businesswoman. You know, this is kind of sounding like the House of Cards. I swear I wasn't thinking of that as I was building this house. But yeah, so the mother is much more of a serious person, strict and serious, and always, you know, she's the one who works on her days off and everything. But the father is the one who's a little more outgoing and a little more friendly, which, you know, you don't imagine that when you're thinking of a politician, but that's what I had in my head. So I'm feeling like the sort of the brick decorations was more of the mom's idea, and the dad went with it. I don't know for sure. So here I am decorating the master suite, and I just love the furniture in this game. I can't say that enough. Just all the clutter. And I like this little desk nook over here. Picking out different lamp options and everything. Not sure if I end up sticking with that one. I think I do, but maybe not. And some wall art. I tried sizing that up, but I noticed that the frame doesn't size up with it. Which, you know, that could be a cool accent, but I like the frame, so I decided to keep it the normal size. And some lighting in there. Can't forget the lights. They're very important. The game is very dark without them. And we're about to go into the bathroom, if I recall correctly. Well, I tested a couple more decorations. Like, I tested out that ottoman. There's also this other, like, yeah, that ottoman. But it ended up being too big, and it doesn't really match the style all that much. So I got rid of that one, too. Oh, I love this locker in the corner. It feels so industrial. Nice little storage area that fits with the decor. Yeah, I tried to put the mug rack in there as well while I was at it, but it didn't fit. It's a small little kitchen, but I figure, you know, the family, they're very hard-working family, so they don't do a whole lot of their own cooking. Here I am working on the ensuite master bathroom, and I got a nice, small, simple bathroom here with a shower stall, a toilet, and a sink. Basically the same decorations as the other bathroom, same sink style, same everything. And I had to get a bathrobe into this one. I love the bathrobes because I use a bathrobe in real life. So just getting everything in there, moving the bathrobe around so I can put the towel next to the sink or next to the shower, because that's when you would need it, and the door opens that way. So yeah, when I build Sims, I grew up in California and now I live in Japan, in a place that's still getting a lot of earthquakes from after the 2011 one. So whenever I see those heavy things up on the wall or up above beds, I always think, that is so not earthquake safe. So here I am moving on to the kids' rooms. And so I look at these rooms and I'm just like, those are massive for kids. Can I fit a third one in there? And so I ended up doing that. So just adjusting the room sizes here and figuring out what I want to do. And then I think, you know, this middle one is too big. Maybe I should make it smaller. And I just couldn't get it the right size. It ended up being all funky, so I scrapped that. and decided, maybe I can fit a third bathroom in here. So now they've got a triple ensuite bathroom that leads into all of their bedrooms, and just adjusting the size here. But yeah, I think this is the configuration I end up with, and I start with the child's room, and I never decided this kid's gender, but for the sake of the explanation, I'll say she. But, oh no, never mind, I'm doing the bathroom first. You get to wait. Trying to figure out the size I wanted for the bathroom, I ended up going up to 2 tall instead of just 1. So it ends up with a sink, a shower, and a toilet, and very simple little bathroom. And here I am picking the shower style. I go with this one, I'm pretty sure. Right now I'm looking at it and just like, if I have it pointed in that direction, then I won't be able to get the toilet in. But one of my pet peeves is having that non-glass portion of the showers not be against the wall, because it just doesn't make sense to me. You'd want the glass to be away from the wall and the solid portion to be against the wall. So I end up putting this in this little partition in here. And just doing some basic decoration. This room basically looks the same as the other 2 bathrooms. There's the same basic decor and the very not earthquake safe cabinet over the toilet, and same basic color scheme. Putting in a few knickknacks and everything. Trying to figure out what kind of decorations I wanted. It just feels kind of barren in there. Okay, well, I'm moving on to the kids' room. So this kid, who I will say she, is kind of like this overly optimistic, the world is so wonderful little kid who, gonna hit reality's gonna hit him or her hard in the face when she or he grows up a little bit. But, right now the parents want to indulge her. And I end up using carpeting for all of these kids' rooms. And so I go with an orange and green color scheme for the kids' bedroom. And I'm trying to keep it gender neutral. I mean, I know green is not strictly gender neutral. It is kind of a little more masculine than it is feminine, but the other options were stuff like pink and blue. So trying to fit some clutter on the dresser there, and it just bugged me because you couldn't fit anything on there. There's so much empty space that can be filled up with toys and junk. Because I don't know about you, but I was a really messy kid. So I'm trying to figure out the configuration because I want to get the desk in there, but I know that if I put a chair in, then the Sims wouldn't be able to get around it. Or maybe they would, but like I said, I don't play test the houses, so better to be safe. So I end up putting in this bookshelf and an activity table, which I'm trying to find now, and I don't know where it is. So I end up just searching for it, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I end up taking out that fishbowl. Yeah, I replace it with a backpack, I think. But I love the search tool. It makes everything so much easier to find. There it is. So I don't find it by the search tool, actually. I find it just by looking. But yeah, this is the basic layout that I end up with for the kids' room, and then I put some decorations up and everything, just posters and these calendars and stuff like that. I replaced a little train with a lunchbox and some shelving on the wall. And if you're wondering how you can move objects around without it snapping to the grid, you just hold down Alt while you do so. You can also hold down Alt while you're rotating, at least in the Sims 3 camera. I don't know if it works when you're using the Sims 4 camera, but with the Sims 3 camera, you can do the click and drag thing you can do for the other ones, for the other games. And so if you hold down Alt while rotating with a click and drag, it'll rotate freely instead of rotating like every 45 degrees. So that's the end of the kids' room, more or less. So I'm moving on to the girls' room, and my view of her is she is kind of the child prodigy type. She's good at everything she does, and boy, does she know it. Like, she's so aware of her excellence in everything. She kind of gets annoying to be around, one of those types. So I believe I fit in here a dresser, a desk, and a violin, because I figure she'll be a musical prodigy. And just picking out the decorations now. I go with kind of a pink and blue theme in here, because if I just add only pink with the walls and the bed and everything else, it'd just get overwhelming and look kind of boring. So I'm just picking out the decorations in here. There's the dresser that I end up going with. And I love the clutter. Like, the backpack is just so perfect. Oh, and I'm putting in some pictures in the kids' room just because it was kind of boring. Go with the orange and green. Try to get one of each of the different pictures. Figure out the orientation I want for them, and I end up going with that little corner thing there. Try to put some more stuff on the walls because they look kind of bare. It's one of the problems with making the tall and medium height walls is that they just look, when you're looking at them from the top, they just look so empty. So I tried to fit some more stuff in there. I'm not sure that I managed to. Picking out some lighting for here, apparently. I like that desk lamp, so I end up going with that. And she also gets a bunch of posters on her wall eventually. Nice table lamp. I'm not sure if I keep it or not. I don't remember. I should remember these. This is my build, but I just don't remember anything. Don't remember what I'm looking for at this point. Oh, the violin, right. So I ended up putting it right by the foot of the bed and keeping it the automatic color. So I go with those blinds for all of the rooms, and of course I put them in the bathroom, because who wants to have a giant open glass window in your bathroom? And posters on the wall. The posters are kind of girly themed, I guess. So I've got the Harry Potter knockoff one, and the soccer girl one, and the reading one, because she's a prodigy, of course. And some storage, some, personality touches, and, she's a prodigy, so she's got all these first place ribbons, and a second place ribbon apparently, and I get rid of the one in the kids' room and make it a yellow ribbon, just to sort of emphasize the fact that the girl is good at everything and better than all the rest of the kids, and boy does she know it. So now I'm working on the boys' room, and I pictured him as kind of a studious academic type. Oh, yes, that's what I got him. And so I mostly went with blues and greens, and I figure he's kind of probably got the second best kid syndrome. I mean, not best kid, but you know what I mean. Like, I was a second sibling, and my older brother was just great at a lot of things that he did. Academically, he did very well, and he was very smart and everything. So I always felt like I was being compared to him. So I kind of figured that that's how this kid would be, because he's got such a skilled older sister. I imagine her is older anyway. He's got such a skilled sister at everything that he's kind of more of a bookish kid, a little bit of an introvert, and kind of feels like he needs to prove himself. So, picking out decorations, I go with the striped wallpaper, because the rest of the house is very flat. It's got that regular old red paint, so just wanted to break that up with some texture in the bedrooms. And he's a bit more athletic as well, so I've got some sports posters on the walls here, and I'm looking for whatever clutter I can fit in there. And I put the calendars in all of the kids' rooms, so I changed them to different styles, so at least they'd be a little bit personal. I figure everyone's got a calendar, right? You can't have a kid's room without a calendar. And just fitting some more clutter around, and I put a painting above the bed, which again is so not earthquake safe, but neither are these shelves above their beds. Excuse me, my throat's getting a little dry. So I'm putting in carpets. I go with that patterned circular rug in the girls' room, and I put a solid rug in the boys' room. And just putting in some finishing touches now. Just working on the exterior, on the outside porch. And yeah, I realize at this point, while I'm trying to fit in this door, that I didn't put in wallpaper in that hallway. Well, I realized that at some point in the build. I thought I realized it just now, but apparently I wait a little bit. I'm trying to figure out seating for the outside. I end up going with just 2 of those patio chairs and then a bench over here. Although I moved that bench closer to the other ones, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then I put in a chess table. I like having my chess tables outside. It feels like it's a nice activity that you can do on the porch on a sunny day. And I put in some awnings also to sort of break up the sunlight. I figured this is probably a very sunny part of the house, so a little bit of shade. And they won't get a whole lot from those awnings, but a little bit would be nice. And I put a couple planters in the corner there, and that's about it for this porch. Looking at some more statues for the outside, but it doesn't work out. Back in the kitchen, I realized at this point that I just added a new family member, so I need a new seating area. So what I do is I end up getting rid of one section of that counter and putting in a table over here. That same table as the beginning. And I wish you could put bar stools at tables, because that would fit this decor really well. I end up changing those chairs, though. I don't really like them. Yeah, I go with those chairs. And then I change this counter to a corner one, and that gives me 5 seats total. And yeah, now just finishing touches, I believe. It's at this point that I realized that I didn't put in wallpaper in there, or lights in that bathroom. I also forgot to put lights in the other bathroom, but I fixed that after I stopped the recording, so that does get fixed. I believe I realized a couple other silly mistakes. I believe I forgot to put a light in the kids' room or something silly like that, and I do fix that as well. Adding in some decoration into the parents' room. Nice rug to sort of break up all the wood underneath. I love that rug, but it's just so massive I can't use it anymore. And it also kind of gets me that the rose patterned rug doesn't have a red. I feel like that should have a red. It's a rose. And yeah, so moving in the mailbox, apparently you can't put it up on a foundation, which annoys me a little bit, but trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. I end up not putting in a pillar and just starting to put in some plants and do some landscaping outside. So, get a couple trees, lots of rocks. I love the rocks. I put in lots of rocks. Scale one up so you get a nice little accent there, and put in a bunch of plants as well. I don't remember what I do in this little pillar area. I don't end up going with those shrubs, I believe. I'm just trying to figure out what I like. Maybe I do stick with shrubs. Or I move them out here. Yeah, that makes sense. And I rotated one of them just so they don't look exactly the same. And, oh, no, I get rid of them, apparently. And I do use that big, long shrub a lot. And I do put in some normal flowers as well, so not just all shrubs. And I'm not the greatest at landscaping this game. I look at other people's builds and I'm just so jealous of their ability to make it look natural. Or not even just natural, but just like somebody actually planted those things there. And some terrain tools. I like to go under all my plants and terrain stuff and add in some dirt. But then I also like to I make the feathering larger, and then I go around the border of the house as well, because I figure if you're right up against the foundation, it'll be a little harder to get grass to grow there. So I end up doing that at the end, and I'm pretty sure this is the end of the build video, at least after I finish going around all the corners with the terrain brush. And yeah, So thank you for watching my first build. This is available. What the heck happened there? This is available on the gallery, of course. My username there is KamiRose9046, but I have it tagged under hashtag KamiRose as well. The lot is named Industrial Paradise, and I'm very bad at lot names. So we got just a few screenshots here, and the video will be over pretty soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave comments, let me know what you think. I'd love to get more into posting my builds because I've just gotten so obsessed with building in The Sims. So if you guys are interested, please let me know, and it'll help me realize what I want to do with the series in the future. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, awkward outro is awkward, and I'll see you guys whenever I post my next video. Bye!